Welcome back, everyone. So we are here to break down the Yeti Weekly. I know I'm also looking a little different. I'm wearing my usual hat, but we're in the middle of a heat wave right now where I'm at. I mean, my hair's wild. I'm sweating. AC's blaring, but we're going to figure this out as we go along here. But we had the Yeti Webcam Double Kit Payout Weekly that happened on June 13th. This had about 67 players. I only took the top 5 here because they're the only ones who were technically undefeated for the entire event. So we're going to break down their list. But we had a good showing, as all. Like I said, 67, and these events are growing larger and larger, so make sure you go ahead and check out the Yeti Discord. I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description below. If you're not part of their Discord, go ahead and join it. Sign up for the webcam games. Happens about every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. So make sure if you're part of that and want to jam some games, make sure you go ahead and join there. But going into deck number 1, we have Pavone, otherwise known as Bob Sherble, otherwise known as Liam, who is part of our team over here in Maximus. Congrats to Bob getting technically first place from being undefeated, one of the 3 undefeated at 4-0 and 1. I mean, just 4-0. With a Spirit of Water Zander list. So this is taking the original Water Zander ally list a little bit and adding some twist to it, adding a little more assassins. So we have Spirit of Water, Zander Prepared Scout, Death Executor, and Krasi's Chosen. This is what we saw near toward the end of ALC, early ALC times. You saw us at Nats. I think this was sort of the Nats winning list. Backup Charger, which is, like we said before, one of the best regalia in the game right now. Fire Bobble, Poison Dagger, Quicksilver Grail, Terrafrang, the Baubles, and Scepter. In the main deck, you have Charge Mannequin, which gets the buff, gets an extra +2. It's a 2-drop 2-3, especially if you have a backup charger with the battery cell in the field. Generally, guys level up if you need it, especially when you set the Lumina to get the extra 4 damage on a single turn. 3 Received Knights, 4 Gildas, 3 Incapacitates. The fact that you're running Zander, you can get this for a 2 cost. 4 Lurking Sounds, 3 Sadi. Again, this card has been really strong. I've been seeing it with Caven's list, a couple of lists across the board. This card has been really, really good. The fact you go to drop it, kill something, then get the unkill agility to pretty much recoup your cost, or you're going to pay 2 authors and bounce it back, get a preparation counter. You can do a lot of cool interactions with it. You're running 4 Slice of Dice, you're going to get the Slice of Dice combo to get in for about, I think, 9 damage, if not more, with a Zander swing. If you're popping off with Sadie and Krasi Trapper, Train Sharpshooter, now 2-drop 3-3. Then you have the basic shell. You have Krasi Trapper, you have the Fracturize, you have Freezing Hand, which deals 2 to a champion or an ally, depending on what you have to deal with. You go to kill Sadie, or you can attempt to kill Sadie before she gets bounced. You have Frostbinds, Frostborn Paladin, Nias, Snow Fairies, and Song of Frost. So this is pretty much what you expect in the new cards with Slice Dice and Sadie being thrown into the list. Going into the sideboard though, you have Grand Crusader Ring if you need to play a little bit quicker or the slower game, so you're not really getting the damage in. With Grail, you're going to need to recoup your hand. Mercenary's Blade to get a fast Regalia if you need it. Safeguard Element for the burn matchups. Incapacitate for going to get a couple of counter spells. 1 Sadie, 1 Freezing Hell, and 3 Lunettes for the ally matchups. This is pretty much, like I said before, this is pretty much the water allies list we've seen before across the board. It's innovative. It's very interesting to play style. It almost plays as quick as Diana deck, but it's also a little bit slower than Diana, but also plays more faster than the original water ally Zander list. So cool. Shouts out to Bob for this list. This list is pretty interesting. I know Bob, I think, is running it in another event this week or next Yeti. So go ahead and keep an eye out. If you're able to watch his webcam games, go ahead and watch his webcam games on that. Worst case, we try and do a deck tech later on and sort of how to play the deck as a whole. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to deck number 2. Deck number 2, we had Krios, I think. Sorry, I misspelled your name in the title. I will change that after. On Rye. So Rye is about the deck we've been seeing around. It's a staple. This one's running the Toma Sacred Lightning, Wind Bobble, pretty much all the baubles, pretty much Chalice of Blood, back to the page. Main thing at this point is going to go ahead and draw a bunch of cards. You're running Safeguard and Terrafrang in the sideboard, and only bring in if you need to, depending on the matchup. And then you have Spirit of Fire, so you go ahead and get that turn 1 backup charge if you need to. Running the main, we have Careful Study, Dungeon Guide, Peace of Union, Resolute Stand, Scry Skies, and Vanish from Sight. Pretty much the normal package that you see at Rye. The very interesting to turbocharge, because in fact you do have the backup charger, you do get Power Cell. You can use the turbocharger to go ahead and pay 3 to go ahead and draw 2 cards back. Pretty good value for the list as a whole. 4 Creative Shock, 2 Disintegrate in the main, probably expecting something like the Merlin matchups or something like Twilight Slime. You go ahead and kill that card. Fireballs and Increasing Dangers. 4 Arcane Blast, 4 Arcane Disposition, 4 Arcane Sight, 4 Erratic Bolt, 4 Spell Arcane, and 4 Voltic Spheres. So a lot of these Rye lists are going away from the old Advent of Stormcaller and Power Overwhelming build. So it's really interesting to see. I'm really curious. I haven't watched too much of this. I really have to go back as Rye player. I still feel like I run Advent of Stormcaller personally, but this one also isn't running the what's the card I'm looking at? Gloomspire, Black Market. So this is playing a little bit different, drawing off the turbocharge, and then it goes to try and use the basic arcane package to go and gain your levels as well as getting the discard, especially with arcane disposition. But not running Advent of Stormcaller, it's a really interesting choice. It's played out a lot for a lot of people. And I think it's an alternate build. If you don't have Advent of Stormcaller, you go ahead and run this build. but I don't see the harm in running Avenue Storm Call personally. But because this list is working out, you're running also 4 Erratic Bolt, so you have pretty much 12 ways to kill your opponent between Fireball, Arcane Blast, and Erratic Bolt to go ahead and deal the lethal damage. Going into the sideboard here, we have the Safeguard, Amulet, Terraforming, and a couple piece reunions for the ally matchups. Peer in the mana for the solo matchups. You can go ahead and draw a couple extra cards. Purge and Flames for, again, the allies matchup, and Sparkle Light as well. Sometimes, especially in the Mirror versus Rai, you go ahead and Sparkle Light through Spell Shield Arcane. You can Sparkle Light and then get in through your Fireball Arcane Blast damage. List number 3, we have Caven over here on Win Tristan. So I don't think. I'm going to go through this list really quickly. I think new addition might be Gloamspire Mantle. I don't 100% remember running it before. So running Dungeon Guide still incapacitates, 4 Mastermind Scheme, 4 Sable Remnant, 4 Sadi, 1 Turbocharge, 4 cards Outlook, 3 Disorienting Winds, which is a new card in here, wasn't in here before. 3 Dream Fairy, 2 Ensnaring Flames, 3 Fairy Whistles, 3 Innovative Agilities, 4 Reclaim, 3 Stifling Trap, 4 Surveillance Wind, 4 Venom, 4 Mail, 4 Shadow Strike. So this is pretty much what we expect as a whole. This list hasn't changed too much. If you haven't, go ahead and check out my Ascentai Pay video. I went over this list as well as linked the video to TCGs where they discuss this list in a deck tech as well as their interaction and play with it. So if you haven't, go ahead and check that deck out. I'm not going to go ahead and break this down too much. Pretty much is sort of a little control, a little bit aggro. Your main win con is going to go ahead and get Shadow Strike, or you're going to get a whole bunch of combos off with Shadow's Claw and say Tristan Shadow Reaver and Tristan Shadow Dancer. Get the Omnis Shadows you're going to get in for damage, and you have slices in there. But this one looks like it's now in the sideboard. Or I think it's always been in the sideboard, actually. It's never been in the main. But they did cut the servo, which was from the Recollection set that they played. I think it was a 2-drop, 1/1 on enter class bonus. If you have a preparation counter, or no, if you have another automaton, draw a card into your memory, I think, or on enter draw a card in memory, and then again the prep counter if you have an automaton. It looks like this also went again and cut the what is her name? Shimmercoke Assassin? Yeah, Shimmercoke Assassin. So this is a little bit different. With incapacitates, reprograms on the sides, lacing as well, arrow traps, cleansing reunions, ensnaring from 1, and 1 stifling trap as well. Into deck number 4 here. Into deck number 4, we have Spirit of Slime Silvie. So pretty much everything we expect so far. Backup chargers in the material deck. You have Beast Binders against extra plus level. So you're going to attack with something like Slime King, Quicksilver Girl, Covenant Horns, Guy's Blessing, Horn of Beast Calling, Stone Scavedown, and Verdant Scepter. In the main, you have Baby Green Slime, Blissful Calling to go ahead and filter your deck. Dungeon Guides, Engineering Slime, which is a really interesting choice. I guess because you do get the fact you have a power cell, you can go ahead and get the sacrifice and buff your Engineer Slime if you want to. 4 Escape the Wreckage, 4 Forest Cake, 4 Limitless Slime, 4 Baby Red, 1 Red Slime, and 4 Slime Eruption. Or 2 Baby Blue Slimes, going to do prevent 2 damage if you want to protect some of your taunters. 4 Gather Slimes, 4 Baby Green, 4 Slime Shields, 4 Storm Sides for your main win combo. 4 Ethereal Slimes, 1 Guy Summer, and 2 Slime Kings. So pretty much Baby Blue Slimes going to have to try and protect your Storm King if you want it, because you're not running the Illustrious Slime, so you don't have a Taunter anymore outside of Slime King. So some of the Slime Kings is going to be that big body that you need to deal with stuff on the board, as well as just sort of keep itself up, especially if you're able to pair it. This one is not running, not Slime Nexus. Oh god, what is the card? I can't think of the card, but it gives you Slime Vigor. We're not running that in this list. So it is not on tap if you go ahead and get attacks in with it. Going to the sideboard here, you have Safeguard Amulet, you have Tithe Proclamation, 1 Verdanian Trinket, especially for the water matchups, 2 Morgan Soul Guides to deal with anything that's going to go ahead and recover a lot, 1 Turbocharge to draw those extra cards, and 3 Twilight Slime to deal with the burn decks, Rai, Merlin, etc. But pretty much the standard Silvie list that we're expecting to see at this point, with a couple different changes with something with Backup Charger as well as Twilight Slime. This list, I think Silvie's a pretty good list if you want to pick up. If you're able to pick up a Recollection, this deck doesn't need a lot of tweaking outside of pretty much throwing in Dungeon Guides and maybe Escape the Wreckage to make it competitive at the higher tier levels, outside of maybe the material deck cards as well. But this deck is relatively cheap. But that being said, congrats to Edgy. I'm really like seeing Silvie go to keep on topping the meta here. And Semper Semper. We're going to go with Semper. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. With Merlin. So Merlin went 3-on-1. Spirit of Fire, not the new Fragment of Spirit. And we have regular Merlin, level 1 Lorraine into the Merlins, into Johnblade. Pretty much everything we expect out of the normal material deck here. Dungeon Guides, Fast Gears, Library Rich reprograms for Float, Resolute Sand, Savage Slash, Squad of Skies, Star Wars Shieldmate, Sun and Steel. That's why we know level 3 Merlin, Creative Shock, Cremation Ritual, Fireball, Flame Rune Swordsman. Speaking of which, I'm going to discuss this in Archivist News. We do have a new Flame Rune Swordsman promo, so make sure if you're at Anime Expo, go ahead and check that out. But we're going to go ahead and discuss that in the near future. 4 Hazy Messenger, 2 Incendiary Fractal, 2 Purge of Flames, 3 Cruxite, 4 Ghost of Magic, and 2 Incarnate Majesty. With a Cyber Being, a Null Lantern, a Verdane Protector Trinket, a Blanche, Scratch Skies, Devastating Blow, Reduce to Ash, and Tether in Flames. So a little bit different than the world winning list that we saw before. We are running stuff now like Reduce to Ash in here because of the fact it does destroy item or weapon, memory cost 0, or reserve cost 4 or less. You saw Blanches, Scratch Guys, and Tether Flames in the side. This one is only running 2 Incarnate Majesty, no 2 in the side like we've been seeing with more lists as a whole. I'm really curious to see how often Incarnate Majesty is used in this list. I figured you want more copies of this. Like I guess you have Cruxite going and recoup it. So, and he does open up some other slots. So it's a really interesting list to see, especially running stuff like Purge of Flames in the main, and then only 1 Sky of the Skies. But with that being said, this was a quick meta breakdown video. Pretty much a lot of things we've seen before, nothing really new outside of Pavone's list. But make sure to go ahead, like the video, comment, and you know, the usual. Please comment, let me know. I did change my audio setup, so please, hopefully this audio is better than it was before. But with that being said, everyone, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.